Hello everybody, Mr. B here from New Jersey Audubon's Nature Center of Cape May, bringing you another installment of Mr. B's Nature Notes. So, it's been an exciting few days here because the pinecone bird feeder that I made in the previous lesson has gotten some attention from our neighboring birds. I was able to get some video up close of these birds because they were right outside my back door, and I'm going to show you those videos right now. What I would love for you to do is to watch the videos and try to notice any differences you see between these two different birds. Start to think about them, think about how you can draw those differences when we start sketching, and just notice different patterns that you see on the birds and colors. All right, so go ahead and take a look at those videos. Look at this cute little bird eating from my pinecone bird feeder. It actually has some stuck to its face because that peanut butter is sticky stuff. Let's look at the coloration on its head, near its eye, on its back, on the underside, its tail. What color are its legs? All these things are important to observe. This bird is a little chunkier than our other friend. Notice how cool the coloration is on this one's wings. This one's face is a little bit different. It looks like it's wearing a mask. And on the top of its head has a cool hairdo. Ooh, look at the cool coloration on its chest, under its beak. Very pretty bird. Those birds are really cute. In fact, we named them Bob and Linda because they are birds of the same species, but one is male and one is female. Did you notice the different colors on those birds? One might have had some different patterns in the face and on the wings, a little bit more brightly colored, even though those colors are just light brown and tans and maybe some oranges. And then the other bird was just a little bit more brown and plainer looking, but still had some cool patterns. So join me as I go outside and enjoy this beautiful weather, and I will teach you how to draw these birds. What's really cool, I want you to keep your eyes open in the video. We might see them flying around us because they are not so scared of people. These two birds are called house sparrows, and so they are pretty brave and bold birds, and you might even see them land very close to Mr. B while we're drawing. So enjoy and get your pads ready because we're gonna doodle. All right, everybody, this is gonna be a fun drawing. So first thing that I do is I always date my little sketchbook. Today is April 8th. So I'm going to put that up in the corner, and I'm going to start drawing its head. So just a simple circle, and I'm going to make sure that I can see that circle, and then a larger circle for the body. This kind of looks like a snowman if you're looking at it straight up and down, but the head is a little bit tilted to the side. Next, I'm going to add the beak, just a little triangle, simple triangle shape on the circle head. I know this doesn't look like much right now, but just wait until you see what our bird is gonna look like at the end. Now I'm gonna add the tail. I'm gonna draw a little rectangle off of the bottom of that larger circle for the body. You can start to see our bird taking shape as I sketch it out. Next, I'm going to connect the head to the body in a way that is specific to this type of bird. And then I notice, again, Bob is a little bit chunkier, so I'm going to add some girth to his belly here so you can make your bird a little bit more chunky if it has been eating from your pinecone feeder. Next, I'm going to make this lower part that is eventually going to be the wing, but I'm just looking at the outer shape, making the beak a little bit more pronounced. And then adding the beak, it doesn't just get stuck right into the front of the face, it actually goes into the bird's face a little bit. So I draw another triangle off of that. Remember, we saw that cool top part of the house sparrow. It had a little hairdo, so I'm going to draw that shape right at the top and erase away all of these inner parts so that I can now see the way that my bird is starting to take shape, so that I can add the wings later and some other parts of the face. Now what I'm going to do is add this large spot which was near the bird's cheek. Remember, we saw that my friend Bob, the house sparrow, looked like he had a mask on, this black mask around its eye and a pale cheek. So draw that cheek, and now I'm going to add this wing down to the bottom part where the tail was. I just connect the cheek to the bottom and make it look like a little bit of a triangle near the tail. And we've got a very basic bird shape done. I noticed that the wing might need to be a little bit larger, so I am making it just a little bit bigger. But now what I'm doing is drawing these special feathers that are on the wing. If you ever notice a bird's wing, it has lots of different feathers for different parts of its flight. So just proportioning the wing into these 3 separate parts will help us draw it in later and draw those individual feathers. The tail might not need to be exactly a perfect rectangle, so you can add some detail there. And now what I'm going to do is try to draw some of these different parts of our sparrow's wing. So I just draw some little straight lines on the wing. And what's really interesting is that the bottom part of the wing, all the way near the tail, those are the primaries of the bird, the primary feathers. And when it's folded up, they just look like that tiny little triangle near the tail down there. But when we're coloring it in later, we'll see how we can show that those feathers are different from the secondaries, which are the feathers right above it, and even the wing coverts up at the top. I'm going to draw a little eye near the beak and give Bob his mouth so that he can eat all those little seeds. And it kind of looks like a frowny face, but that's just the way Bob's mouth looks. He's not always sad. But when you draw the mouth, you don't have to draw a straight line. You can give it a little bit of a curve. I'm going to add a little detail to the eye, a tiny little circle that is white, and color in the rest of the eye black. And now I'm going to go in with my pencil and add some of those field marks that will show that this is a male house sparrow. So I color in around the eye darker, and I'm going to add some little shading where the top of the feathers on the head were a little bit dark near the beak. I'm going to give it a little nostril right here. Oops. I think I noticed that the nostril goes the other way, so we're just going to fix that. All right. Now I'm going to shade under the beak and around just the edges to show the depth of this bird's beak. It's got a very strong beak to crunch on those little seeds. Now remember that mask goes all the way down into the chest area, which we actually call the breast of the bird. So I'm going to add some dark shading near the breast there to show that this is a male house sparrow. And as we get towards the back of the head, the feathers turned into that really rich brown color. So I'm going to just shade that in. Now let's get to his chunky little body. And I'm going to shade in a little bit around there. Just give some lines to show these different striations. I'm going to darken the wing to show that the wing is over the body. I'm going to draw his feet. So just two little lines side by side. They have very skinny legs. And now I'm going to draw his tiny little toes. Kind of looks like a worm. So you can draw two worms coming out of those two sticks. And then we give a little tiny little nail to help grip and to make sure Bob stays on wherever he's standing. I'm going to draw some toes in the background. You just got to draw little circles around there. So it has 4 toes. We can see. Now I'm going to add the other leg after I erase a little bit. And sometimes we don't have to really work too hard on these things. I'm going to add the tail feathers right there. Again, just lines that connect from the wing to the back of the tail. Okay. All right, our house sparrow is looking pretty good. He's getting there. All right, I'm going to draw out of the line a little bit and just give, instead of a perfectly circular bottom there, if we add those tiny little triangles or scratchy marks, it looks like he's got his feathers fluffed. Now we're going to add that other leg, and I'm going to make sure that it's at the right angle so that we can see it the right way. I'll just start up here, draw one line, draw another line, just like that. We have the other leg. I'm going to make it seem like there's another toe back there, but we don't have to really draw all of the toes because it's behind the other one and we don't really see them all. Sometimes it looks like the birds are just standing on one foot because their legs are so skinny and you don't really see them behind the other ones. Now I'm just going to draw a little bit of a log, even though Bob was in the bowl. That little chunker, he just loves to sit in the bowl and eat. But I'm going to make it seem like he was on the wood that's right behind, because he has been on there sometimes. He goes all over the place. He comes very often to our little restaurant to eat the food. Now I'm just going to take the darker pencil and go in where I know it's black and around the edge, just to really make that line solid and darker than the rest of the bird. Okay, friends, it is time to color in our little sparrow. So what I am going to do is show you the colors that I'm using. Pink, white, black, different shades of brown, and a yellowish orange to get as close as I can to the colors of our house sparrow. So first I'm going to take the black and go in to spots where I see that Bob the house sparrow is gray. And I'm just going to lightly put that black in because I don't have a gray colored pencil. But what's nice about this white is that if I add that to the top of the black, it blends that black in such a way that looks really, really cool. So I'm just going to blend over that light black, and a little black goes a long way, friends. So just very light with it. And then I'm going to put the white in around that gray near the cheek area to kind of clean off my white and add that gray. And then I'm going to add some darker parts of the striations down there under the belly part and go in with the white to blend it. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to take the white and go to the beak, where again it's this gray color, but what's nice is that just by using the white, I'm blending in the pencils that I used before and some of the black that I put in there. So that gives him his gray beak. Now I'm going to go over the eye and make sure I leave that little white spot, that accent, to keep that eye from disappearing in his mask. So I'm going to put this black colored pencil over his beak. Any of the darker lines before that I put in, I will now go over with the dark part with my black colored pencil. And I'm going to keep on coloring in around his eye to make sure that he has that dark mask. Now I'm going to take my kind of dark brown that's a bit on the red side. It's like a maroonish brown color that connects that little black eye mask to the back of the sparrow's head. And it comes around his little cheek there. So I'm going to add that in. Now anywhere else where I see this dark color, I'm going to add it. So in the secondaries, I notice there is some of that color. So I'm going to add that in, and now I'm going to grab a lighter brown color and continue to color in the wing. So I notice that it's a little bit lighter in the secondary feathers. So I'll add that over top. And then I'm going to go to the covert and just add some of these lines here, because all of these feathers are just on top of each other. I'm going to add a little bit of that light brown to the top of the feathers there, and then go in with the yellowish orange and blend in that. But then I notice it's got kind of this white edge to it up there, the wing coverts. So by using that white, I blend it up and in, and we have a beautiful part of this house sparrow's wing. Now I'm going to grab that lighter brown again and go up to where the wing attaches to the body and add some more lines. Now I'm going in with the yellow and blending it, because again, remember when we first looked, he has this orangish yellow brown color to his wings. So I'm just going to add that in. And again, you notice I'm just drawing straight lines. Now I have the black colored pencil, and everywhere where I have white or the pencil lines, I'm going to go in with that black colored pencil and fill in. Okay. We've got that cool pattern to his wing. I'm going to go to the edge and just fill in. It's a little bit darker right there. Okay, so I'm going to outline, and then those primary feathers down towards the tip are all black. So I'm going to use the white to blend things now. Again, showing that there's different parts of the wing is really cool and gives your drawing some realistic depth. Okay, now I'll even use that white down there in the primaries to blend them so that you can see that there are different parts, there are different feathers. It's not just one big solid black mass down there. Okay. Bob does have a little white collar, so I'm going to leave that part white, but I'm using the white to just blend everything right now in the top of the head. All right, we'll go to the tail, and it's a very dark tail. There is some other lighter brown color in there, but what I'm really seeing from Bob is a very dark tail. So I'm just kind of making some darker lines and some lighter lines in there to show that there are quite a few feathers in that tail. It's not just one solid rectangle. Okay, we're gonna make his little toes and his legs pink. But again, he's an outdoor sparrow, so I'm gonna take the black and just add a little bit of detail, some shading, and making his legs just a little bit dirty. All right, now let's get to his chunky belly. Again, just scribbling a little bit gives him some fluff, which I've noticed Bob does quite a bit when he bullies other house sparrows around, or even other birds around our bird feeder. He ruffles his feathers, and even though he's a very small bird, he's very aggressive. And in fact, house sparrows will take over other bird nesting spots, even bluebirds or tree swallows, purple martins, things like that. If there is a bird house, they will take it over sometimes, which is kind of what makes a lot of birders and people who study birds not love house sparrows. They aren't a native species here, but they've been here for quite a while, and these ones are living close to my house, so I figured I would draw them. Now I'm just going to color the ground, that wood, different shades of brown. I'll go in with the black. I'm going to write Bob, the house sparrow. So what I would love for you to do is share with me your pictures, any other birds that you've seen, and look up why house sparrows are the way that they are, and do some research and share that with me. All right, friends, I hope you enjoyed this drawing lesson, and see you around.